Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् द्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। We saw the Shraddha and its opposite. What is the opposite of Shraddha? Doubt. Doubt and distrust. These are the opposites of Shraddha. We saw the harmful effects of that on the person, regardless of whether the person is a mumukshu or not a mumukshu. If one is a mumukshu, of course, one will always be questioning the path, questioning the teacher, questioning the teaching, questioning the lifestyle. And then if one is not a mumukshu, even the worldly gains that one can have, one is not certain about, because one is not certain of oneself. Can I do this? Can I not do this? One is not having enough confidence. And one doubts oneself, one doubts one's own confidence. So this world and the other world, and also the world of Atmajnanam, all of them are disbarred for such a person. And so therefore doubt must not be entertained, distrust must be taken away. How to take away distrust? This is going to be talked about by presenting in the next verse. Which verse was that? 41. By presenting in the second last verse of the chapter a person, a role model kind of a person who has no more doubt. How does that person have no more doubt? Let us just see. Together. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantanna karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya. Yeah. So, yoga sanyasta karmanam. Even though this shloka of the Bhagavad Gita describes who? A jnani, the Karma Yogi must also necessarily be included, because as the next chapter is going to tell us, there is no Jnani without first being what? Karma Yogi. So, there is no PhD without graduating from high school. So, therefore, the Karma Yoga Phala is also included in this Atma Jnanam. So, this is why the person becomes a role model, such a person. Who is that? Yoga Sanyasta Karmana. And who is that? The Yoga Sanyasta Karma. Who is that Yoga Sanyasta Karma? Then that person is the person who by this knowledge has seen the futility of action. They may still be doing things to upkeep their body. They may still be doing things to help out the society. They may still be doing things that they enjoy. But the main difference is that they are not addicted to that doing. This is the main thing you have to understand. So it's not that they are sitting in one place because they are actionless. We already saw what actionlessness means. Actionlessness does not mean not doing action. We saw that. In the 18th verse we have seen that. And so therefore the Yoga Sanyasta Karma means the person by the dint of knowledge has seen the futility of action and is abiding in this knowledge and is not restless and is not seeking anything more. Why are they not seeking anything more? Because whatever one seeks is the Atma. And gaining the Atma, what is left to seek? Nothing is left to seek. What is there? Nothing is left to seek. And so they are contented in themselves. And then because of that, because of this, they don't have doubt. Jnana, and then the next chapter, the next verse is going to say the sword of knowledge, the sword in the form of knowledge, Sanchinna Samshayam. So Sanchinna Samshayaha means Jnanena Sanchinnaha Samshayaha Yasya Saha, for whom by the knowledge, through the knowledge, the doubts have been cut asunder. So doubts are there. Why? We have to understand the status and the nature of the distrustful one, the nature of the doubter. Why is the doubt there? Because it is there for the same reason that the desire is there. And why is the desire there? It's the same reason why the restlessness is there. Why is the restlessness there? The same reason why there is no, wrong understanding about oneself, the world and God. Why is there wrong understanding about oneself, the world and Bhagavan? Ajnanam is there. So doubt is there because Ajnanam is there. Jnanam is there, no doubt is there. That is what we have to see. We have to make the connection between Atma Jnanam and the doubting personality, a distrustful personality. So the distrust goes away in the wake of knowledge means what? The knowledge is the antidote to this distrust. So the antidote we don't like. Why? Because we doubt that also. We doubt that our antidote is actually an antidote, and so therefore you have to just, like the medicine which is there, you have to just close the eyes and drink it. That's all it is, because it has been tried and tested before. It's not a new medicine. You're not a guinea pig. You're not an experimental person. Let's see what happens. Let's see if you turn blue after you take this here. Have a sip. No. This has been tried and tested. And anybody who's had a sip of Atma Jnanam has become a Jnani properly, who has received it, and the doubts have vanished. So the ultimate, small antidotes to doubts anybody can do. We can go take some, maybe there is a workshop. What will be the name of this workshop? How to not have doubt. Workshop. About that also they will have doubt. So many may not come. That is also there. So Such a workshop, even if it's the most successful workshop in the world, will just have temporary upayas. Why are they temporary? Based on karma they will be. They'll be based on karma, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. But this is a permanent upaya, a permanent measure, because it is based on the truth of knowing the truth of oneself as naturally free of all doubt. And so therefore, so jnana sanchinna samshayaha. This person is one who was also perhaps doubting. Sanchinna means it has been cut. It has been cut means what? It was there before. This is why we love the jnanis, because they were all ajnanis before. There is no jnani that has dropped from the sky. We don't espouse such jnanis. We tell them, keep the knowledge to yourself, go back into the sky, ascend, levitate, go. We need only people who have gone through the same thing that we are going through, that we have gone through. And so that's what makes this knowledge authentic. That's why it is lineage based. That's why the student can confidently go up to the teacher and ask, how was it for you when your teacher taught you? What is it that you learned? So, adhihi means teach me, but actually it means madartham smara. Recall your time with your teacher. Madartham, for my sake, please remember. Now, of course, you are a jnani, you don't remember all these things, but for my sake, go back and see, tell me how your teacher taught you and teach me that. So the jnani is a role model, because at one point of time or the other, what were they? Ajnani. And this is the beauty of this teaching. The beauty of this teaching is that that person has been liberated, and you can look at them and say, okay, this person was just like me. And if they can do this, then this can become a role model for me. And so they were some chinna samshayaha means, this chinna samshaya means what? The person for whom all the doubts have gone. How can they go if they were not there to begin with? That means what? At some point in time the doubts were there, and the pursuit of the knowledge made the doubts go away. Now this is where you have to stop. You can't doubt that the doubt will go. If you doubt that the doubt will go, then it will become an infinite regress. You have to stop right here. This is the final, what is that? The buck stops here. This is the final resting place of all doubts. And if you have a doubt about whether this is the resting place of all doubts, then we can't help you. How do you know that it's the final resting place of all doubts? That's why the jnani is given as an example. See that? How do you know that they had doubt? Well, that's what it says. How do you know that the Gita is right? Because it's a pramana. How do you know that the pramana is right? Then we are going back into the infinite regressive loop. Somewhere you have to stop, and somewhere you have to say, I'm going to give this a chance, because there is nothing, absolutely nothing to lose except self-ignorance, which we want to lose. And so therefore, this is the second qualification of the jnani given here. And then the third one is Atmavan, Tam Atmavantam. So Atmavan doesn't mean the one who has Atma, Balavan, Dhanavan, and then what? Atmavan, Atmavala. No, there is no Vala Vali here. The Atmavan means the one who is together as a person. The one who doesn't have emotional instability, emotional immaturity, doesn't have a meltdown and has to be carried out of the room in buckets. Okay, such a person is called Atmavantam. Na karmani nibadhanti. No matter where they go, no matter what they do, no matter how they live, the karmas do not bind them, because they are liberated. Their doubts have been vanquished. And if their doubts have been vanquished, one has to understand what? My doubts will also be vanquished. And because the Gita has nothing to gain by making you into a follower of the Gita. Gita doesn't have Facebook page. Gita is not a YouTube influencer. Gita doesn't want you to follow her. Gita is just giving something because she is Hitaishini. She is there as like the 1,000 functional mothers. She is just there to help, console and take on the right path and give the blessing of the knowledge to those who seek her, those who are ready to do that. So if you seek the Gita, then the doubts will vanish. This is a promise. This is a promise that is there. And he is called Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means he has what? Lot of various kinds of wealth. Yeah, so the one who is the Jaitra, the conqueror of various kinds of wealth. So he has intellectual wealth here. The intellectual wealth Bhagavan is invoking. Various kinds of wealth you have. You have the biggest wealth. What is that? Buddhi itself is the dhanam for you. And buddhi wealth you are having. And if you are having buddhi wealth, please put it to use. Do not hoard the buddhi. The buddhi is a terrible thing to waste. And do not waste the buddhi. And just be with this buddhi. Use the buddhi properly. So Dhananjaya, praising him to use all the wealth at his disposal. He's got so much kinds of wealth. He's got his buddhi, he's got the time, he's got the guru. The guru is a very important, form of wealth. That's why we say Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shriya Yuktaha Guruhu. So the Guru is full of abundance. The abundance of self-knowledge itself is a great wealth. So you who are potentially very wealthy and can be wealthier still with the wealth of self-knowledge, listen to this carefully. Bhashya. Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam. What does that mean? Paramartha Darshana Lakshanena Yogena. What is yoga? Yogena here, the yoga here, Adi Shankara takes it to only as Jnana Yoga. But I said we can also include Karma Yoga because the two are connected. So, Yogena, Jnana Yogena, he doesn't say. What is the yoga here? A yoga is that which is characterized by the vision of the Lord as the truth of oneself, we have to add. Paramartha darshanam lakshanam yasya jnanasya. So yasya yogasya. So that yoga here, Paramartha darshana lakshanena, is not qualifying a person, it is qualifying this yoga. What kind of yoga? The kind of yoga for which, in which there is, which is characterized by the vision of the Lord as non-separate from oneself. Through that yoga, tena yogena sanyastani karmani yena. So by the force of that yoga is the instrument for the giving up of all actions for seeking things in time. That is the kind of actions that are given up. Yena paramartha darshina, by which jnani. And what kind of karmas are given up? The karmas also have a qualifier, dharma, adharma, akhyani karmani. See, Sanskrit is very simple, you see. Yeah, very, very easy. Not at all difficult. Like we can just do we can do the whole study of the second case and the third case in the verse and in the Bhashya. So you see okay. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam, okay, atmavantam, they all go together. You see, they're all the same case, gender, number. What is the case which generally ends in Second case, very good. Yeah, so they're all second case. Yeah. So like this we can say that so the one who has vanquished everything, so that person, so yoga sanyastha jnana sanchinna samshayah, so for that person the karmas don't touch. Okay, and then here we have a third case lesson here. All right. So paramartha darsha lakshanena yogena. Okay, and then again paramartha darshina. Okay, and then second case also continues karmani. What kind of karmani? Dharma, adharma, akhyani, karmani. So things that rhyme always are in apposition. Okay, and so who is this yoga sannyasta karma? Who is that person? That person is the one by the vision who has gained the vision of the Lord as the truth of oneself, and through that knowledge, yoga here means knowledge, through that knowledge has been able to, by the force of that knowledge, give up all actions and give up all actions. What are the kinds of actions? Punya producing actions. And what is the other kind of actions? Papa producing actions have been given up by whom? Tam, that person, to that person, the actions do not touch, because they have renounced papa producing actions, because they are dharmic in nature, and they have renounced what else? Punya producing actions also they have renounced. How this is being explained? Katham yoga sannyasta karma iti aha. How did they get that way? Jnanena atma ishvaratva atma ishvara ekatva darshana lakshanena. So what is this knowledge? Very nicely in one word he describes. Atma and Ishvara are one. This vision, the vision of Atma and Ishvara are one. Or to put it in Sanskrit, to translate it literally, the knowledge by which reveals the oneness, which is characterized by the revelation of the oneness of Ishvara and the I. So the knowledge, jnanena, by the knowledge. What is this knowledge? The knowledge having the characteristic lakshanena jnanena. So itham bhuta lakshanena jnanena, like this kind of a characteristics. What is the characteristic of this knowledge? Atma ishvaratva, Atma ishvara ekatva darshana. So the Atma and Ishvara are one. This vision is the characteristic of which knowledge? That is what is called self-knowledge. So through that knowledge, tena jnanena, characterized by the oneness of the vision of oneness of Ishvara and I, through that knowledge, sanchinnaha samshayaha yasya saha, for whom all doubts have been torn asunder. All doubts are gone. Such a person is called jnana sanchinna samshayaha. And then further, yaha evam yoga sannyasta karma tam atmavantam. So he says, the one who is yoga sannyasta karma, we already saw that, the one who has renounced papa producing actions, because there is no rebellion anymore and there is no force of desire. The one who has also renounced what? Punya producing actions. Why have they renounced punya producing actions? Because they don't need punya. Why they don't need punya? Lokaishana is not there. Go to other worlds is not there. Comfort in this world I want is not there. Desires are not there. So punya producing actions are also given up. And then for that person, atmavantam. And then Adi Shankara says, apramattam, mindful, not neglectful. Apramattam. So, mindful. Mindful means together. The person speaks when is needed. Person does not speak when it's not needed. That's a very difficult kind of vak tapas. It's easier to have maunam. I'll keep maunam. Very nice, very good for the roommate. Okay, yeah. If you keep maunam, you are giving them a gift. All right. But it's very difficult to do vak tapas. Vak tapas means speaking mindfully, where, what to say, when to say, how to say, and most importantly, what not to say, when not to say, how not to say, all this. And then, so the person who is apramattaha in the form of speaking, walking, talking, eating, the person is practically flawless, because the whole lifestyle of the jnani is designed to not disturb. It's a life committed to non-disturbance. This we have to understand. Total non-disturbance. We keep talking about carbon footprint, all these things. Carbon footprint is nothing. Here we talk about the kind of an emotional footprint that one leaves. Emotional footprint, and then like the heavy, like you see sometimes people after they leave the room becomes lighter. Yeah, the energy becomes lighter. That is the footprint we are talking about. The desire to be noticed all the time, the desire for attention, the desire to throw one's weight around, the desire for validation, the desire to show I am somebody, the feeling of entitlement, everybody should come and do this for me because of course I am the best, east or west. All that goes and the person becomes mookavat tishtati. This Brahma Sutra says that. The Brahma Sutra says that the person of knowledge acts as though they don't know anything. Because there is no pressure to show that, yes, I know these grammar sutras, I know this. And they just, because there is no reason to do anything. There is no reason to do anything at all. There is no reason to show off. There is no reason not to show off. And there is no reason, because it's each time you engage, that engagement is a costly engagement. Because there is, for every word that you say, people will say 10 things back. Then you have to sift through what they have said and say 15 things more. And then they will say, they will not keep quiet, they will say 25 things back. And then you have your whole arsenal, you have 50 things that you have to say. It goes on and on. When do you stop? Here the person is Atmavan, stopped. There is complete uparama. Uparama means not that the person is distant or aloof. This is a blame that is assigned to Vedantins. Oh, you become so aloof. It's not aloofness. It is keeping to oneself and engaging only when it is necessary, or somebody pulls, come on, engage. Okay, after they do it 3-4 times, then you oblige. There is a certain kind of a being falling back on oneself, because that oneself is enough, that self is enough. There's nothing more that is needed. And so here the Atmavan is called apramattaha, practically flawless, no slackfulness, no slothfulness, no slackening. And then guna cheshta rupena drishtani karmani. So guna here is not sattva rajas tamas. What is guna? Indriyas, in some cases, indriya vishayas, in certain other cases. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate prakritéhe kriyamanani. Which chapter? 7th chapter. No? 3rd chapter we have already studied. Which number of the verses? Towards the end it will be. Prakriter kriyamanani. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. Karmani na sajjate.
28.
Yeah? 28. Yeah. So this same verse was referred to twice in the Bhashya in this chapter itself. So there is a custom for the word guna to be used as indriyas and indriya vishayas indiscriminately. So guna cheshta means indriya cheshta. The objects are not going to do cheshta. Cheshta means movement. Okay, so objects being insentient, we have to look at it technically. What does it mean? So the objects are not going to do cheshta. The chocolate cake is not going to start dancing in front of you. Please eat me. It's not going to say. The tongue is going to go out and say hello to the chocolate cake. So therefore, guna means what? Indriya. Indriya cheshta. So yes. So even for the jnani, if you put, what should I say, if you put gulab jamuns or whatever in front of them, salivation may happen, water droplets may come, but that is what? That is the activity of the indriyas. Is the indriyas me? No, the indriyas are not me. So therefore, the person is bereft of the activities of the indriyas, is not connected, is disconnected or unconnected, uninvolved with the activities of the indriyas. Obviously, if there is something nice to see, eyes will go, sight will take place. Obviously, if there is something nice to eat, the tongue will report, yes, this is an object of like or object of dislike. But the one for whom the like-dislike button is disabled, nothing happens. It's like a switch which is not functioning. You turn it on, no fan comes, no light comes. And so like this, for the jnanis, the switch between the sense organs and the mind is the wires have been cut by the sickle of knowledge. Let it go on. Yes, that's fine. Yes, it is something nice there. Let it be there. But therefore I want it. That connection is not there. And so guna cheshta rupena drishtani. So karmani. So the karmas that are observed through in the form of the actions of the organs of action, sense organs, etc. Na nibadhanti. Na nibadhanti means they do not create phala. Adi Shankara is so beautiful. How do they not bind? Bandh, to bind. So, na badhnati, ninth conjugation. And so, bandh, to bind. And that's how the word bandana has come. It is actually bandhana. Okay. So, but in English they have made it bandana. So, because they cannot say bandhana, that's all. So the na nibadhananti. So nishchayena na badhanti. They definitely do not bind. What do you mean karmas do not bind? They do not start to produce karma phala. Why? Don't forget the roasted seed example in the previous one. Because of all the karmas are gone, and the karmas are like roasted seeds that do not produce phala. We have seen earlier, daddha bijavat nirbijatvam has been established here. So anishtadi rupam phalam na arabhante. Anishtadi means they are not productive of results. Anishta adipadat ishta. Ishtanishta rupam phalam. Ishtanishta rupam. So they do not produce favorable results, or whatever one thinks is unfavorable results either. Therefore what? So why do they not do that? Because karma yoga, karma yasmat, because karma, this is the connection to the next verse. We'll read this and then chant the verse. Because karma yoga anushtanat ashuddhi kshaya hetuka jnana sanchinna samshayah na nibadhyate. Let us take the verb. Nibadhyate, passive usage, is not bound. What is the active one? Nibadhnati. But here nibadhyate. So, na nibadhyate is not bound. So, so somebody is not bound. Who is not bound? We'll see later. Why are they not bound is in the fifth case, first word, karma yoga anushtanat. Because of the practice of karma yoga. And, because of that, what happens? The person becomes ashuddhi. Because of that, the person becomes pure. How? Because the person's samshayas, all the impurities in the form of raga, dvesha, doubts, etc., are chinnaha, samchinnaha. So, what is the cause of impurity? Ashuddhi, kshaya, hetuka. The cause of, not impurity, sorry. What is the cause of the destruction of impurities such as doubt? Jnanam. That jnanam, which is what? Which is the killer of all doubts. Killer of all doubts. So, the one, who is this person? So, the one for whom all the doubts have been killed off by this knowledge, which is the cause of the reduction or the decaying of or elimination of all impurities. So, the person for whom all the impurities have been killed off by which jnanam, including samshaya, all the impurities including samshaya have been killed off, is not bound. By who? By what? Karma bhihi, by action. Why? This was already pointed out. Jnanagni dagdha karmatvat. So, two things are there. Tvat. Fifth case. Karma yoga anushtanat, and then Jnanagni dagdha karmatvat. Two things are talked about. First is through karma yoga, what happens? The ashuddhi, kshaya takes place. What kind of ashuddhi? Raga, dveshadi, kama, krodhadi. All these ashuddhi, kshaya takes place, and then after that, with the sword of jnana, what happens? All the doubts are gone. So, and then all the karmas are burnt by knowledge. So, this is for these two reasons there is no that person is protected. Otherwise, jnana karma anusthana vishaye samshayavan vinashyati. Yasmacha, further, here the second yasmat is otherwise. Otherwise, what happens? The skeptical one, samshayavan, the doubtful one, perishes. Why? Because they have neither jnanam nor karma yoga. Karma anushtanam is not there, jnanam is not there, and therefore, what is there? Perishing is there. That's the only thing that is there. They destroy themselves, and so therefore this last verse sums it up very beautifully. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hritstham jnanasinatmanah chitvainam samshayam yogam Atishthotishta Bharata. Tasmat means therefore, a very big therefore, final therefore. Because after that what comes? Fifth chapter. Actually what comes is Arjuna's question. So therefore it's a very big therefore. Therefore, tasmat. Tasmat what? Ajnana sambhutam. Nicely gestated by ajnanam. Nicely born through ajnanam. Ajnana sambhutam. So, ajnana sambhutam, and then see, there is again some ums, okay. So, what are all there in Yeah, ajnana sambhutam. What else? Hritstham. What else? No, enam, okay? Chitva enam. So, enam. What else is there? Samshayam, very good. All of the things are qualifying samshaya. Okay, they are all in apposition, samanadhikaranyam. So the word samshaya, doubt, is being talked about with 3 other adjectives, 3 or 4 adjectives. How many? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 adjectives. One is what? Ajnana sambhutam samshayam chitva. Having torn asunder the samshaya, doubt and distrust born of ignorance. And having chitva, also hritstham samshayam chitva. Do you see how it's all connecting? Hritstham means that hridi tishtati iti hritstham, that which is in the heart. Heart, buddhi, heart, mind, all same. So that which is in the heart, the doubt which is what? Born of ajnana, tearing that asunder, the doubt which is born of, no, not born of, what's the other one? The doubt that is residing in the recesses of the heart, meaning it's well entrenched. And then what else? Samshaya. So then these are the 2 things that are only two things for the thing. The third one is the samshaya. These 2 are qualifying samshaya. What kind of samshaya? Ajnana sambhuta samshaya, hristha samshaya. So the samshaya that is deeply entrenched in the heart, and the doubt that is born of ajnanam, deeply entrenched in the heart, enam, this samshaya, what should you do? Chitva, having torn asunder, yogam, karma yogam, jnana yogam, atishtha, follow, atishtha, abide in it, follow, uttishtha means what? Get up. Why to get up? To fight. Yuddhaya uttishtha. Hey Bharata. Bharata has 2 meanings. One is the scion of the lineage, the beautiful lineage of Bharata. The Bharata is not an ordinary name. A lot of big Bharatas are there. Who are all the Bharatas? The one who wrote Natya Shastra, that is one very Mahamatihi Bharata. And then what else? Who else? Jada Bharata. Yeah, the one who was a great sage, Jada Bharata. Like this, so many Bharatas are there. You please enliven their lineage. Keep their lineage going, because what they were all jnanis or close to jnanis. So you cannot, being born in their ancestry, you cannot just sort of say, oh, I'll just be ordinary. I just want a mediocre life. And this is not for you to have a mediocre life. You don't decide whether to have a mediocre life or not. And if you let go of this doubt and this despair born of this doubt, born of Atma Ajnanam, let the life take you to the pinnacle of wherever it needs to go. And then having torn asunder, yogam atishtha, abide in karma yoga, abide in jnana yoga, abide in the pursuit of knowledge, but abide also in karma yoga, first karma yoga, and then hey Bharata. So one is the Bharatasya apatyam, Puman, that is one meaning, the descendant or son of Bharata, descendant of Bharata line, and the other one is what? Bha is bhati iti bha. And what bhati? Brahma Vidya. Bha is Brahma Vidya, tasyam ramate. Yaha is called Bharata, the one who revels in Brahma Vidya. Ra for Ramate, Bha for Brahma Vidya. Because why does he call him Bharata? Because he's been reveling in the Vidya, listening to Bhagavan very, very carefully. See, he has not interrupted Bhagavan since the 35th verse of the 3rd chapter. Yeah, so the 35th verse of the 3rd chapter to the 42nd verse of the 4th chapter, he has been listening, completely rapt in attention, and so therefore Bharata Bhashya. Tasmat Papishtham. Adi Shankara, when he catches hold of a word, doesn't let go of it easily because it shocks. Because the samshaya is papa. I had never heard of it before. I thought samshaya is just my own thing to deal with, and I thought samshaya, doubt, it's just my little problem. But here it is seen as a great papa, a disservice to me and a disservice to others also, because if I get Atma Jnanam, so many people can be benefited. That also is there, and so it's a papa, overall papa, and so this samshaya is what? Ajnanat avivekat jatam, ajnana sambhutam. Ajnana here is talked about as aviveka. The doubt comes from not the first doubt. When was the first doubt born? Please tell me. The first doubt is nitya vastu aviveka. Aviveka. No discrimination. Not being able to tell what is finite and what is infinite. That is the basic bread and butter of Vedanta. So, what is Atma Nityah? Anyat Sarvam Anityam. Anyat Sarvam Anityam. So we know that Atma alone is Nitya, everything else is Anitya. This is the first area of doubt. The inability to distinguish between the permanent and the temporary, and to catch hold of the permanent, the person is not able to, the people are not able to do that. Therefore, Adi Shankara takes us to the drawing board of Vedanta, which is what? Nitya vastu vivekah, iha mutra phalabhoga viragah. We are revising Tattva Bodha now. Yeah, we have come to that condition. Why? Because this doubt is so powerful and so torturing, so tormenting, and it basically kills off the person, kills off the enthusiasm, puts them in a place of despondency and despair. And that despair is an enemy for Atma Jnanam. So therefore, Papishtham. He also says, not only Vyasa, I also can qualify the samshaya, and then so Ajnana Sambhutam was already there, so he added his 2 cents. What is that? Papishtham samshayam avivekat jatam. He says, avivekat jatam, the born of the inability to distinguish between what is real and unreal, and even if the inability is there, the inability to follow what is real is the problem. So this kind of a samshaya, doubt born of aviveka, hritstham, hridi buddhau sthitam, hridi sthitam and buddhau sthitam. Hridi and buddhi, hrid and buddhi are one and the same. So jnana asina, asihi means sword. Jnana asina. Don't say sword of knowledge. Why not say sword of knowledge? Remember all the other things. The fire, is it fire of knowledge? No. What is it? Fire, that is knowledge. So sword of knowledge? No. Sword in the form of knowledge. So the jnanasina is, he says, jnanameva khadgaha asihi. The sword itself is the knowledge itself is the sword. Tena, and then what to do? Tena jnanasina shoka mohadi doshaharam samyak darshanam jnanam. Tena shoka mohadi doshaharena jnanena. So that knowledge which is qualified by, which is characterized by the one which takes care of all the fallacies in the form of pain, sorrow, delusion, etc. and gives samyak darshanam, gives the vision of oneness. Gives the vision of oneness. That knowledge which destroys the sorrow is here seen as a sword. Just like the sword kills off the things that are not needed and restores the harmony to the society and in a war, so similarly this knowledge takes care of all the ragadveshas, kills off the ragadveshas, kills off the doubt, samshaya, which is the most papishtha, and then restores the vision of oneness from which one had become alienated, as it were. Tena jnanasina swasya atmanaha. Atmanaha here, we can't take it as direct sixth case. So, what does it qualify? First of all, look at the verse. So, jnana atmanaha samshayam. Let's say we take it that way. Atmanaha samshayam. If we say the doubt of the Atma, no. Karmani Shashti. Karmani Shashti means the same usage like Bhagavataha Gita, Bhagavad Gita. We can take it two ways. What is the first way? Song of the Lord. And that is pertinent here because the Gita is pleasant to hear and it is in fact authored by the Lord. We can take it as a Kartari Shashti also, active Shashti also we can take. But then the song for which the subject matter is the Lord. Second meaning. Both of the meanings apply. Here only the second case, Karmani Shashti, we have to take the doubt for which the subject matter is the self. It's not self's doubt. You see the difference? It's not doubt of the self, it is doubt pertaining to the self. What is the difference? The self is not doubting. It's not the doubt belonging to the self. It's like that. It is not the self that is doubting. It's the doubt for which the subject matter is the self. And Adi Shankara goes on and on about it. That's why I also have to explain this. And so let us see further. And then he says, Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. Because the doubt is pertaining to what? Whether I am eternal or not, whether I am free from pain and sorrow or not. That is what the doubt is pertaining to. The doubt is not pertaining to other things. And also he says, the nahi parasya samshayah parena chetavyatam praptah yena swasya iti vishishyate. So it's not that the doubt belongs to somebody else and has to be removed by somebody else. It's not doubt in the active sense. It is the doubt for which the subject matter is myself alone. And so therefore he says, Atma Vishayatvat Samshayasya. So Atmanaha means concerning myself, concerning the I, whatever doubts are there, please chitva, having torn them asunder, please go and fight, please get ready for this battle, keep abiding while abiding in Karma Yoga. So then, iti vishishyate ataha atma vishayah api swasya eva bhavati. So the word swasya is appropriate. It's not one's own doubt, it is doubt pertaining to oneself. So chitva enam samshayam swa vinasha hetu bhutam. He will not let up. Every time the word samshaya comes, he adds a few other things. So, samshaya, what is the samshaya? Swavinasha hetu bhutam samshayam chitva. Having torn asunder the doubt which is the cause of self-destruction. That doubt, vinashyati, samshayatma vinashyati, he hasn't forgotten. And then yogam, samyak darshana upaya. So that yoga is the karma yoga which is in the service of jnana yoga. the Samyak Darshana Upayah. Upayah means in service of what? Jnana Yoga. Samyak Darshanam. What is this Samyak Darshanam? Atma Ishvara Aikya Jnanam. The knowledge of oneness between I and Bhagavan. And the upaya for that, the measure for that is what? Karma Anushtanam. Leading a life of Karma Yoga. Atishtha, please follow. Kuru ityartha. Uttishta. Uttishta, follow when? All the time. Uttishta when? Idanim uttishta. Now get up. 4 chapters are over. Get up. Please get up. Get up right now. Why? Yuddhaya. Yuddhaya. Now you get up. Later on you can do this, but now you get up and all the time follow Karma Yoga. But now you must do what? You must get up. Okay. And so, Atishtha Uttishta Bharata iti. Om Tat Sat. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama Chaturtho Dhyayah. Now we will do a little bit of, what is that called? Simhavalokanam. Looking back to see what all we have studied. And so here many topics are there in this chapter. So what is the first topic? The first topic that we have discussed is the summation of Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga that was described in the 2nd and the 3rd chapters respectively. And that summation comes in the following verses. I'm in the 2nd chapter. Why? Okay. What's the page number for chapter 4? Okay, got it. Never mind. Yeah. So then he talks about the lineage and everything. And then, so verses number 1 to 3 are the Shamsa, Prashamsa of the Vidya. What is the Vidya? The lifestyle called Karma Yoga and the Jnanam, Atma Jnanam. So both the lifestyles were created by me, and then all the people from the past have been initiated. And verses 5 to 8 is the second topic, because Arjuna forces Bhagavan to declare himself and as what? As Bhagavan, as Avatara. What did I say? 5 to 8? Yeah, 5 to 8, correct. So 5 to 8 are the characteristics of Avatara. How subduing the Maya Shakti, I am born life after life after life in every yuga, whenever the world declines in Dharma. The decline of Dharma leads to Adharma, and then I take birth to restore Dharma and punish the people who are all Adharmas. Okay, and then the next topic is the, what number was that? No, topic number. Third topic. Now the 4th topic, right? Third topic. Now the third topic is from 9th to the 15th verse. Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, 9th to the 15th verse, saying that even though, what does this say? This says the Lord's nature is given, but at the same time it is also said that the Lord's nature is not separate from the nature of the Atma Jnani. How? Because the Lord is Akarta or not? Yes. The Jnani is what? Akarta. And then recall all those verses. Namam karmani limpanti. न मे कर्म phale spriha iti mam yobhijanati karmabhihi na sa badhyate ityadina. So like this, all of those verses, that I am free from all activities, I am free from the results of these activities. If you know me as yourself, you are also liberated from all actions and the results. So the Jiva and Ishvara are one, separated only by what? Ajnanam, self-ignorance. Oh, Ishvara has self-ignorance? No, Jiva has self-ignorance. Okay, and then, so then this is the, so therefore, even though one may not know the Lord as oneself, there is the need for surrender. There is a need for surrender, acknowledging the acknowledging the Lord as Bhagavan, need for surrender, and then need for asking for this self-knowledge, and then whatever is asked, Bhagavan gives. Bhagavan gives. And then, of course, the idea is that even though whatever is asked, Bhagavan gives, people don't ask for moksha. People don't ask for moksha. Why? Because they have their own idea. So they want small ends in the world. They let go of the big end because they doubt the big end as themselves. How can it be so simple that by knowing this I will be free? It must be much more complicated. They make something complicated which it is not. And then, so that is the third topic. The fourth topic is akartritvam of the Atma from the 16th to the 24th or the 25th verse. 25th shloka, 24th verse. From the 16th to the 24th verse, Lord Krishna gives the nature of action and actionlessness from the standpoint of the Ajnani and from the standpoint of the Jnani. Who is the Jnani? The one who does not see action just because something is moving. The one who does not see actionlessness because somebody is sitting still. So the action and actionlessness are very difficult topics, especially from the standpoint of the Atma Ajnanam. For the person in Atma Ajnanam, for the ignorant person who thinks I am the doer, sees action even when it is not. So even if it's not one's fault, one sits and feels guilty, for example. Or even if it is one's fault, one says, I am not the actor and goes away, both of which are completely wrong. And so here, the actionlessness is nothing to do with performing of actions in the world. The actionlessness is not an attribute of the Atma. The actionlessness is the nature of the Atma. So the action, actor, result of action are all as those superimpositions upon the I, which is free of all three. Self is neither the actor, nor does it do actions, nor are the results of action produced. Knowing this, one is free of all actions. And then so the activities may be there on the level of the body, but the self is free, and one who recognizes and identifies as the self is also completely free. They are contented. The Jnani Lakshana is given in the 22, 23 thereabouts. Where is that? Yeah, 21, 22, 23. How they are not expecting anything. The mastery over the body, mind, sense complex, happy with whatever they have, free from all involvement and attachment. The mind is rooted in self-knowledge, sees everything as Brahman. This is up to verse 24. The Jnani Lakshana is given. So now the next topic, which number is that? Fifth topic is from verses 24 to 33 or 34. Let us see. 34 तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन यज्ञात्वा the punarmoham. Yeah. So like 34 or 35, that's the next topic, which is the excellence or the superiority of this knowledge compared to all other forms of purificatory actions. All other actions purify one for knowledge, but the knowledge is the ultimate yajna, in which the Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance, is the final offering, ahutihi. This was discussed. Remember all those yajnas, so many yajnas? Daiva yajna, bhuta yajna, pranayama yajna, this yajna, that yajna, food yajna, breathing yajna. All these yajnas are temporary. They help one get to the place of antahkarana shuddhi, but jnana yajna alone stands out because it fries the bija of desire and action and result of action. It fries ajnanam, which is the bija of samsara. And then that is the sixth topic, right? And now 6. So then we have, then it is kind of hard to even summarize. The last parts are a little bit what's its name, but we can say 35 to 38, we can say how to gain this knowledge and the benefit of the knowledge. How to gain this knowledge means what? Let us see. Where is 35? Yeah. So what is the benefit of the knowledge? 35, and then 35, 36, and then 37 also, the benefit of this knowledge up till 38. And then how to gain the knowledge, that question is also included in this discussion, that the 39th verse, very important. In 39, we see 39 and 40, we see the stuti ninda prakriya of the Bhagavad Gita, the methodology of putting up something, praising something, and then deriding the opposite. The methodology of what is that? Here, the methodology focuses on praising trust, Shraddha, as the single most factor that makes or breaks one's recipient of one as the recipient of Atma Jnanam, one's ability to receive the Atma Jnanam, and then Ashraddha as its opposite. Doubt, despair, and distrust are the opposite. So the distrust, doubt, and despair, they destroy the person, whereas the Shraddha elevates the person. And then what else? So then we have the example of the person in 41, and the example of the person who has got rid of all doubt and despair. And then the 42 is a what is that called? Urging Arjuna, and by extension everybody who is studying the Gita, to abide in Karma Yoga, and then what? And then do whatever is needing to be done in the life. Please don't start fighting, because it said here, please Arjuna, get up and fight. Yeah. So don't follow the Gita to the T, because here we are talking of the inner battle. So whatever is there that needs to be resolved through Karma Yoga, through abidance in this continued commitment to this knowledge, may that be done. With these words, the most important 4th chapter concludes. There shouldn't have to be a 5th chapter, but there is. Why? Arjuna asked a question. Are you sure? Let's see. Does he ask a question or does he not? He does? Okay then. What are we waiting for? Let us see. Let us chant the question. I am in 6th chapter. Why? Because this thing. 88. Thank you. Together. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yachreya etayor ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Homework for tomorrow is to compare this question to the verses 1 and 2, the questions that come in verses 1 and 2 of chapter 3. Okay, report back to me, revert to me tomorrow same time, same place. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.